What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Frank Warren, the Hall of Fame promoter, a fierce rival, of course, of Eddie Hearn. For a long time has questioned the whole saga over Whyte's failed drug test. He's really disappointed at the conduct that Eddie has decided to do in this situation. He felt that Hearn had a duty of care to inform opponent Oscar Rivas, who eventually found out via media. Okay, he says that he believes that this isn't the first time that has been such a treatment. He remembers his fighter Billy Joe Saunders incident during the run-up with the Demetrius Andrade fight. Okay, Saunders was stripped of his WBO title because of that, and it was all about a nasal drip that he used that was cleared by UCAD in season, or out of season rather, and VADA was forced to, because it was a banned substance for VADA and it wasn't for UCAD. He could use it in the UK, but he couldn't use it over here where the fight was going to be. Okay, now Eddie Hearn did push that issue. Okay, he said, in the eyes of UCAD and the BBB of C, the bill of an innocent party, he had not broken any rule or violated the WADA code, but Hearn, when it suited him and his agenda, vocally supported the stance of the voluntary organization. He insisted everyone should know about it, resulting in Bill having to vacate the world title. Billy Joe Saunders, meaning Bill. Now we have a cloak of secrecy thrown over the whole issue. Furthermore, what have the VADA tests come back with this time? Why hasn't it been conducted? Has it all been conducted in secret? 2 young men died, so now more than ever, there is a need for complete transparency. We need to know the results of the B sample as soon as possible for the integrity of the sport. Okay. Throughout all of this, nobody is saying that there has not been a positive test here. That being the case, what was he doing in the ring? Okay. So the man that was risking his life was, of course, Oscar Rivas. And that's what Frank Warren is saying. I agree with Frank Warren with that, because they had the obligation to let Oscar Rivas know what was going on. And what Frank Warren was saying, he remembered when Billy Joe Saunders was fighting, and Billy Joe had the nasal drip that was cool in the UK but wouldn't cool and wasn't cleared on the VADA testing. And Eddie Hearn, when it suited him, went and pushed for the VADA to strip Billy Joe Saunders, which wasn't cool. Now it's turning around where his fighter has tested positive for a particular substance on a sample A. Okay, you have sample A, then you have sample B. Sample B hasn't came back yet. I don't know why. It's been, it's the 29th. That fight ended on the 20th. So I don't know why it's taken so long for those sample Bs to come back and, as the result. But what Frank Warren's doing, he's cracking it wide open and saying well, hey, why is everything in such a secret? When my fighter tested positive for a nasal drip that everyone knew that was cool in the UK, right? It was cool to take, and it wasn't on that particular list. Why was it such an urgency to make that public? And now when his fighter, Eddie Hearn's fighter, gets popped with something or tests positive with something, basically, now it's all secret. Now you can't even tell the other party about it, and it's 100% true. Eddie Hearn, shouldn't have been that stringent on Billy Joe and Demetrius Andrade, whereas they wanted to keep it secret, But here's the thing. What Frank Warren was asking, the last thing, that being said, or that being the case, what was he doing in the ring? Well, for Frank Warren, let me counterpunch you on this. That's not a question you asked Eddie Hearn. That's a question you asked UCAD. Okay, that individual company, that drug company that was cleared. That's the question you ask. That's not Eddie's call. I can understand him, blasting Eddie about letting the other side know, because that he does have an obligation. That was some slime ball shit. He should have told Team Rivas, hey, this is what happened. This is what we're going through over on this side, right? And we have to keep you notified because of this test. See, for it to be secret and see, Eddie Hearn shouldn't have been allowed to do that. Everyone's saying Eddie Hearn should have done this, but it really wasn't Eddie Hearn's call after that. He just didn't say shit, which was shitty. But it should have been the organization that found the positive test that's then notified, because they found the positive test. Hey, to let you guys know, this test has been registered. These particular supplements that were on the banned substance list, which we are under review right now. You know what I mean? And since it was under review, and because it was under review, Oscar Rivas' team, they should have known what was up. Now, that's 100% true. I've been saying that to you guys for the longest. But with Frank saying, well, why are those guys in the ring? Sure, of course, the two men died. The Argentinian man and the Russian guy, they both died. Centillion and Dadashev are deceased now. But they weren't. Here's the thing, guys. I touched on this last night. It wasn't a result of someone that tested positive for a banned substance. Those other two fighters did not test positive for a banned substance. In this case, these particular fighters weren't hurt. Thank God, right? These fighters weren't affected to that magnitude. Luckily they got out of the ring without being scathed, or not saying scathed, but they got out of the ring without serious damage. Okay, and Oscar Rivas ended up dropping Dillian Whyte. Now imagine if Dillian Whyte would have dropped him, and it would have just been a totally destructive fight. Yeah, they would have been looking at Dillian Whyte shitty. You know what I mean? But that proves my argument, though, about PEDs and banned substances. They don't end all and make all. You know what I mean? They're not the reason why a fighter wins a fight. Okay, the fighter wins the fight because you have to go in there and do the work. But there is cheating involved. So there's no way to extract what a fighter can do and what a fighter can't do. What I'm saying is, I think it has too much credit, but I think Frank Warren is right about that. And we have to take into consideration that it would be Frank Warren that would be the rival boxer that would say these about Eddie Hearn. He never has anything good to say about Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? So if you got a guy that's always saying something negative about another rival promoter, this is what you expect. But you should expect that, and he has every right to do that because of how Eddie Hearn and Dillian Whyte has put themselves through and put other people through because of this, right? I'm not saying who's guilty, who's innocent, or whatever, but Frank Warren has the right to say that because they did his fighter like that. They crucified Billy Joe Saunders over that, and he didn't get the opportunity to fight or defend his WBO title. Okay, and it was stripped from him, and then now Demetrius Andrade has it, which is an Eddie Hearn fighter. Okay, so I can see the bitterness on Frank Warren's side, but I can also see what he's saying and why there's bitterness there. It's blatant bitterness. It should be there. It's justified bitterness. You know what I mean? Because Eddie Hearn did, hey, everyone should know anything, but now why is everything hush hush? That's very strange to me. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Frank Warren's comments. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.